it's father time. Long time no see. I've been busy, busy, busy. Traveling a lot, traveling a lot, traveling a lot. Be honest with you, in between trips, my schedule's too full, but I am back. I'm just going to fly a real simple VATSIM flight, and I am at Kennedy because they had some controllers at Kennedy, some at Boston. They may be gone by now. Went to sign on here, and all sorts of problems getting this thing signed on. Uh, P3D, I don't know if you guys work with it. It dumped everything. Dumped my Kennedy profile. It dumped my Boston profile. Um, it. I just had to reload a GSX. Matter of fact, I'm not even sure GSX is still on here. We'll have to check that. But anyway, let me get this thing set up a little better here. Yeah, it's a little better. Um, we are at the gate H12, gate 12. There it is. To prove it, I think right now we're all alone. Let's go ahead and go over to vPilot down here. Let me go in here to do it. What I want to show you guys, I'm going to go through. I've been a while since I've done the VATSIM. I want to go through the whole thing from start to finish. How I decide where to go. So vPilot, make sure you open it up as administrator, like that. This is whether you are Microsoft Flight Simulator or a newer version is available. Yes, I do want to update that. Or P3D. Doesn't matter. You got to open up as administrator. Otherwise, your mic doesn't work. So if you're finding your mic doesn't work, that's the problem. You update that. It's always something. And here we are at Kennedy. Let me connect it. We're going to be American Airlines flight. 123 is okay. It's a 777-300 connect. Haven't even done the sim brief, flight plan, nothing. Right now we get JFK ground, probably ATIS here in a minute. Yeah, Kennedy ATIS. And I know Boston had something. Let's go to VATSPY. Let you guys see how I determine where to go. You get this out of the way, this vPilot out of the way. And I was looking over in Europe, and there's plenty going on, but I was trying to get Kennedy to operate. All right, so there's Boston. It's got a tower, it's got a ground, it's got an ATIS. Kennedy's got a ground. I remember the top-down philosophy in VATSIM, just learning about this. They have a New York Center. They control center, approach, tower, ground, and clearance. So it's top-down. They have a tower. They don't control departure. If they have approach, they don't control center, but they control approach, tower, ground, and clearance. If they just have a tower, they control tower, ground, and clearance. Just have a ground, they control ground and clearance. So in this instance, I'll get my clearance. I'll get the ATIS clearance, taxi to ground, and they'll probably just clear me to take off and contact Common Freak 228. Up at Boston, right now I don't know if there's a New York Center. We'll have to find out about that. But anyway, so there's a little bit of a coverage here. So that's how I determined where to go. Come back in, the cold, dark airplane. Let me see if there's any other airplanes out here. Kind of cool, huh? So let's get some action going on around the airplane. Let's go back inside. Right now there's nothing going on. I really wanted to show you from scratch here. Okay, there's GPS. We've got 10 minutes to align. It's aligning. It's Kennedy. And what I'll do is get this coming in. KJFK to K Boston. And at the moment, I have yet to do my sim brief, so I'm going to do that for you. This is where I was updating, just so you know I'm not a liar. My GSX was gone, my New York Center was gone. I don't know. I was playing around with Microsoft Flight Simulator, and maybe that did it. I want to try to get back into that. All right, sim brief. Dispatch. Create a new flight. All right, we're going to go American Airlines, Flight 123. And departing KJFK, going to Boston. Aircraft type, 777-300, which is a W. 777-300, just in case some of you guys are new to VATSIM, not unlike myself, right? Units, make sure you change this to pounds. And route's going to Merit, Roebuck, okay, any alternate routes. They'll probably let us do that. We'll go Merit, Roebuck. Let's generate a flight. We go. So went to VATSPY. Saw where the action was. We had coverage a little bit in both places. This is our route. That's an alternate route there. I'm going to copy this route for SimBrief, although, and I'm going to, right now I am going to pre-file on a network, VATSIM, so I've already pre-filed. It's reviewing the security. That's kind of new. It tells you I haven't been here for a while. Sign in. Allow. Yeah, I've been super busy. Matter of fact, I'm going to London tomorrow, so I wanted to get something going on here. What altitude are we going at? That's a little bit high. Let's just go at 21,000. Oh, no, you know what? I think the arrival, let's go 25,000. I think the arrival has a 23,000, so that'll be more interesting. Alternate, JFK, nah. Providence, I'm from Rhode Island from way back. So let's go to Providence, Merit, that's all good. File. All right, so now we're filed on VATSIM, but it's still not in the PMDG system. I want to wait till this comes up as filed is complete. It's having a little tough time doing this. It's going around and around. We'll come back to that since we are making this up. Let's go here, and I'm going to go SimBrief downloader. SimBrief downloader right here. And I'm going to go to PMDG. Flight plan. That is Boston, KJFK Boston. So that way it's available in my box. And one last thing, I'm going to put the winds in. Yeah, I hope this helps. When I was trying to learn VATSIM, be honest with you, there's some guys explaining things, but not from start to finish. So you need to download VATSPY, SimBrief downloader. I get a Navigraph subscription. You got to do VPilot, all sorts of things. I get GSX. I actually FSX. Let me see something here with the weather. For the weather, get that going on too. All right, so now we know it's available in the box. And we're going to do this for a minute. Close out this for a minute. And Active Sky P3D. Let's run that as an administrator. Make sure Active Sky is on. That way we just get the current weather. Okay. Scary. Okay, I'm not going to do anything fancy with that. Now we're going to go back in here. All right. So now that we've gone to VATSPY, where's the coverage? Because we want to do a VATSIM. We've gone to get in here. I start getting my aircraft booted up where I want to go then. I'm sitting at the gate. I go to SimBrief, make a flight plan. And then I go to SimBrief downloader and downloaded it. So the PFDG, when I'm on SimBrief, I make sure it's available at VATSIM. Did that ever come up? Let me see here. Those are the wins, so we did that. And yeah, we went on to over to VATSIM. I'll double file in a minute. I'll show you about that. Now I'm going to go route request. And that should, because I just put in SimBrief, SimBrief downloader, I downloaded the Kennedy to Boston route. It should come up. And there it is. Load. I should get this a little bigger so you can see it, right? Load. It's loading. Takes a minute. 777 on P3D. Hopefully it comes to Microsoft Flight Simulator within the year or so. All right, there it is. Now, it's KJFK to Boston. Should be over Merit. It's Merit, but the Roebuck arrival. Let's go back to SimBrief. SimBrief. and it thinks we're going to go Boston runway 4 right. Taking off Kennedy 31 left, Roebuck 3 arrival, Boston 4 right. So that's what we're going to plan on. We're going to go Kennedy 31 left. We're probably going to get the scores. Actually, you know what it's going to be? The scores departure is what I would guess it's going to be. That's usually what they give you going out this way. We'll do Yankee transition 31 left. That's my best guess for the SID, because remember, it doesn't load the SID or the star. Star, Roebuck for 4 right. Roebuck 4 right off of Merritt. There we go. ILS 4 right. And that's good enough for now. Just follow the prompts, right? So index in it, except this one. We're going to put in some numbers here. We'll get the winds in. Back to the flight plan, route data, load the winds. Just thinking about it, execute it, and it's going to do the descent winds. To get the descent, you go VNav, go to the descent page, go to forecast page, and load them. If you want to see them go in, it takes a second, and the descent winds are in. So now we have in the cruise wind, descent wind, star, and SID. Now we got to get the performance stuff in there. What's our zero fuel weight? Back here, zero fuel weight 441, 441.9, 441.9, 441.9. It is 777-300. It's good. So 441.9. Hope you guys, some of you guys probably need this now. PMDG has the ability to put the fuel in there. So let's do that, right? So back to the don't need sim market. Back to the sim brief and the fuel that we have. Fuel. Sorry guys, a little slow here. Block fuel 33.3. Fuel. So we go menu, FS actions, fuel. What a memory. What a memory. 33.3. Must be tired here. So 33.3. And we get the correct zero fuel weight, got the correct fuel, back into it. So what we checked was ident. Let's do the box. We got 300 GEs. GEs, you start one at a time. Pratt's and the Rolls Royces, you can start both at the same time. Right, Freaky D? I have trouble with that. We're good up to 13 July. Today is 10 July. I fly 11 and 12 to London. Position, we're at Kennedy. I have updated that. And Iris is our line. Route, JFK to Boston. Runway 31 left. Flight number AAL 123. I'm going to copy the route. We go here. Scores 5. Yankee transition is what we're anticipating. It's going to be radar vectors Merritt. Roebuck arrival into Boston, runway 4 right. Legs. We come up to the remote control panel. Put in plan. Back down to the box. And we just walk through. We would check these against the Navigraph SID. So let's go to Navigraph here. Hey, where is it? There we go. Come on, Navigraph. Slow to boot up. Here it comes. Get that set up. I have a subscription. Navigraph is just great. It's $100 a year, but you can update even your database. Like when I come home, the 13th of July database will need to be updated. I go to the database uploader and update that, and then it updates the box, which is just great. All right, JFK to Boston. I've already loaded that. If you wanted to, you could unload it and reload it. We're going to go to the box, and we're going to look at the SID. We're anticipating scores departure, Yankee transition, and there it is. We go scores departure with Yankee transition, and we compare that to the box. Scores, Cessed Yankee, Sword, Cessed Yankee, and 5,000 is the altitude. And 31 left. Climb on a heading 314, intercept course 258 the scores, and then we're going to go out to Merritt eventually. And transition altitude is 18. So scores, Cessed at or above 2,500, and then Yankee down here. That's where I anticipate. There's actually an engine out procedure that follows that ground track, so you don't hit the Freedom Tower out here with poor performance. So I'm not planning on any engine outs today. All right, so we did that. Let's go to perf. We got to do our TPS now. Let me see if I don't know if I can get over there. At one time I had it programmed inside here so that we could do it. But let's go this. Let's go over here. This is worth doing. What you do, why is my electronic flight bag not coming up? There it is. How's that? Performance. I think you guys will like this. If you're lightweight like this going to Kennedy to Boston, you don't want to take off like a rocket ship. It's a lot of airplane to handle. Total waste of thrust. Add an airport. And I'm going to go keyboard. Show keyboard. KJFK. You search for that. Airport. All right, cancel that. So airport search. KJFK, sorry. Search ident. We know that's what it is. It's going to be 31 left. For the right. See these gray boxes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Got to fill in those, plus the takeoff weight and CG. That's all you got to do. Condition is dry. Wind. We have not checked the ATIS. Let's do that. $28.72. All right, that's information November. Let's get rid of that. And over here, we'll put in, normally what we have here, guys, is ramp. Kennedy ramp, 129.2. Won't be using that today. If you're not an American US pilot, we usually push back at the bigger airports with the ramp control, which is controlled by our company. At European destinations like Heathrow, most of them, you push back with ground. They usually don't have a ramp. But 21.9 is here. And clearance we're going to get on ground. I don't think they have a delivery. I'll have to check. They do at Kennedy, but I'm not sure they have it today. And then 19.1 is tower. 19.1. And normally back here, we put in on the bottom, we put in departure freak. Departure freak is 35.9. That's just a reminder. We use it as kind of a notepad as a technique. So let's take a look at the radios. We would normally have ATIS here, ramp there. We usually monitor ramp the whole time because company needs to get a hold of us. Ground here, tower here. Clearance is a separate freak, but we usually get clearance through the CPDLC. And here's the departure freak as a note. If you ever want to load this up, data link, you can put in ACARS, pre-flight, origination, KJFK, and I defer to you if there's NCAD to Boston, estimated time en route. If there's a way to airtime is only 34 minutes. If there is a way, to actually use this. I don't think there is. And AA is our airline. So AA 123 all looks good. And initialize data, pre-flight, doesn't let me do anything. If you guys know how to do that, let me know, because I sure don't. Then you got out, in times, those are your block times, auto land, left seat pilot, right seat pilot. So it's kind of cool. So it's anyway, that's how you load up the ACARs. And we'll talk about that in just a minute. Let's go back to the box. So back to the TPS. So the wind was, let's go 310 at 10. Show keyboard. Click on the wind. 270 at 10. Temperature 28 Celsius. There it is. QNH 2976, 29.76. And then thrust, we usually just let it do what it wants, but I know TO2 is more than enough here. Flap configuration will drive just optimum. It's going to be on this big airplane, probably 15. Air conditioning configuration, PAX auto, ice is auto. So there you go. I filled in, and I just going to do the takeoff weight and CG. CG is 25. How about this? CG is 25. Okay, let's do takeoff weight first, since doesn't appear to be cooperating. Payload, max takeoff weight, and estimate takeoff weight, 472.8, 472.8. 472.8, CG is 25. Okay, everything is filled in. Now I'm going to hit calculate, and the real number I'm looking for, it's going to be a flaps 5 takeoff, 1,000 foot is the trim, and here's the big number I'm looking for. It's the 45. So it's TO2, 45. TO2, 45. So that's flaps 5, 22. Now, thrust limit, TO2, right? And 45. 45. Okay, so we got TO2, TO2 climb as well, and 45 takeoff. Flaps this, flaps 5, 45, and we're going to go activate, activate, activate. And on page 2, it's standard NADP 2. 1 is in Europe usually. 2 is here. It's 1,000, 1,000. Europe, it's 1,500 reduction, 3,000 Excel. All right, so that's done. And 156, anytime I get that number, I come up here and I put it in the window. Yeah, I'm trying to get back into Microsoft Flight Simulator. I'll tell you, I am rusty at everything, aren't I? So then 314. So our remote control panel, we'll start getting that set up too. It's 155 V2, 314, and 5,000. Flight directors are on, and it's going to be VNAV, LNAV. So down here, TOGA, VNAV, LNAV. We can go back to map because we checked the points, right? Down here, we do need to put an engine out. Let me see. Engine out is 810. Let's do it this way. Looking down here. Looking for 810. Can I do it with this? Yeah, that's better. We can all see it that way, right? 810. Remember, there's an engine out procedure. If we do happen to lose an engine, there is an engine out procedure. And the altimeter is wrong, so I'm going to hit my handy-dandy letter B on my keyboard, and that gives me the altimeter 2976 all the way across. All right, so we've got TOGA, LNAV, VNAV. The speeds are set. 810's the engine out. 2976. Field elevation is around 20 feet here, and 20 feet here. And if you go across the cockpit, we'd be looking also on the other guy's side, 2976, Toga Toga VNAV LNAV. They would have 810 set over there as well. Okay. So, something, one guy's doing the walk around, the other guy's doing the inside. If you want to do cold, dark stuff, um, let's do that correctly. All right. So, let me go back here, come in the cockpit. We check the observer station. We go right up the middle here, first of all. Make sure that the fuel levers are off, throttles are closed, parking brake is set. It's before we even take the seat, guys. Throttles are closed, reversers are down, flaps are up, speed brake lever is up. We come to the overhead. Believe it or not, wipers are off. That's when we would go battery on, start the APU after the fire test, or if we could turn on the external, get everything going here. Turn on the ADARU, start aligning the IRS. One guy loads the box, other guy goes out, does the walk around, comes in, he finishes by, remember, right down the panels, just like this. Emergency lights on, hydraulic pumps are all off, electronics is auto, seatbelt sign is off. Master bright is all the way up. All these lights are off on the panel. Yeah, we do the fire test here. APU, fire test down below as well. EECs are all normal. Fuel jettison is normal. If you want to jettison fuel, you hit arm and hit the nozzles. Does 5,000 pounds per minute, about 5,600, I think it is. Cross feeds are closed. That's normal. This is on because the APU is running. It comes on automatically. Center tank pumps are off, and they're going to be off the whole flight because you don't have any fuel in the center. We've got navs on, beacon, logo, and wing are all off. These lights are all off. Air conditioning panel is set. Equipment cooling's on, gaspers on, trims on, packs are auto, and pressurization panel's normal. At that point, we actually come in and we go right across. We don't need any heat. Transfer lights are all good. The captain sets up their panel. They're going to go map mode, usually leave it in 10. For departure, does a check. Altimeters, they set their own altimeters, check it against fuel elevation. Engine out. Barrow set here, come right across. If you look a little bit back to the right, we also would, that's not good. We check our oxygen, which is right here. Do our oxygen check, come across. Our iPad will be here. I should do a whole video on that EFB. Panel brightnesses are all good, right across. Then we come right down the middle. Gear handles down. RTO. Here's something interesting. I think you'll find it interesting. Been a while since I did a whole thing. Checklist. You hit checklist. Come back in here. Reset all. Like that. Okay? Then we go to back up to the panel up here and go cancel recall, check what we have here, and checklist engine. We check our engine, make sure our fuel's all good, our oil's good. Yep, oil's all checked. We check our stat, which checks our oxygen right here. APU's running, and our hydraulics is no refill, which is a RF on there. All right, and then COM, and that goes here, and that's pretty much all we do for now. Here's our pre-flight checklist. Oxygen is checked, flight instruments are checked. Heading and altimeter, we already did that. Go down to the next one. Before start, flight deck door is closed and locked. Passenger signs. Passenger signs are on. MCP. All right, we talked about it. 156 is V2. We checked 5 paddles up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Both flight directors, autopilot engaged, left and right, all throttles are on. 155 is V2. Auto on the bank. You don't want to take off. Auto on the bank with this set somewhere else. Just leaving an auto. Um, you might go to 5 if you didn't want to stall up high altitudes, if you're really operating on the edge for some crazy reason. You want 5,000 in here with 1,000-foot increments selected. It's that. MCP is checked. Takeoff speeds, we already went through those. And whenever you do the takeoff, remember it's 2 pages. It's that one and the cleanup stuff. So 40, 45, 56. I think I put in 55, didn't I? Hence the reason for a checklist. Okay. So takeoff is selected. CDU pre-flight, that's when you check the database, the route, the legs. And you also come in here and check the total distance, 202, and you compare that to the total distance for the flight. And the whole total distance, 190. Just make sure it's reasonable. 202 versus 190. This is a long-winded presentation of a VATSIM flight from conception on through, guys. That's what this is meant to be. Just been a while since I've done one like that, so I thought it might benefit some of you. CDU pre-flight's complete trim. We usually just wait till after engine start because we really don't want to be putting hydraulics on. But the trim on here, we actually get that off the takeoff page, not off the closeout. We take it right off the takeoff page. It says 6.0. See that if I move the trim, it doesn't work. If you ever wanted to set the trim on the ground, all you have to do is put on hydraulic pumps, come down here, and set 6.0, which is right there between the 4 and the 8. Actually, there's 4, 6, 8. So that's 6 right about there. The reason we usually don't do this till after engine start is because it makes a lot of noise back there. And plus, when you do the walk around, you know it's set at 4 when you park. That way you can see that it's on a line. There's a line on the tail on the external. I don't know if I can see it here. Yeah, see that? That's cool. See that middle one? That's pretty valuable. I never instructed that before. Yeah, what this one is, can you guys see that? Hang on. Oh, you can't. Anyway, there's a line. There's a top one, and there's a bottom one. That's full limit up, full limit down. It should be right there. That's 4 degrees nose up. So when you do the walk around, if you know you have 4 set, you look for it to be right on there to know that your trim is properly set. It's cool. I never instructed that before. Forgot to do that for all the things I did. By the way, guys, my big ugly face is down in the bottom right hand corner of the screen. If you click on it and subscribe, I sure would appreciate it. Taxi takeoff brief. Okay, Bob, if you haven't flown with me, I always fly with Bob. Bob's extremely quiet. And to be honest with you, he's not much help. We all know that. This is Bob. That's where the FB would sit. This is where the FC would sit. Or if we go to New Delhi, we actually take a second captain. It's called relief captain. Relief captain be there. And over here would be the FB. And this is where Bob, the FFO, would sit. All right, guys. My takeoff, anything prior to 80 knots, we execute the abort. Between 80 and V1, we'll abort for engine failure, fire, overheat, or compressor stall. Other things we might abort for in that area are controllability, or someone's crossing the runway. We think we might hit them, like Delta did the other day, and when the American crossed in front of them, and or wind shear. Everything else, we're kind of in the go mode between 80 knots and V1. So prior to 80, we abort. Between 80 and V1, we abort for those things. If it happens to be a gear problem, let's not pull the gear up. Let's keep it down so the brakes stay cool. If it's a gear overheat on rotation, if we get a wheel well fire. 3,000 is Goodman sector. 810's the engine out. And we will come back in here and land. There's an engine out procedure on 31, but we're VFR. We'll just go up runway heading, turn to a downwind 3,000 out over the ocean, come back in. The long runway is actually the one we're taking off on with the displaced threshold 31 left, but 31 right will work too if we fought it out by leaving parts of the tire or the engine on the runway. And 18,000 to transition. Help me out with the seatbelt sign, seat and the flight attendants. Don't be ambiguous. Don't do a hint in a prayer. If you see something, call it out. Don't say I'm uncomfortable. Just say go around or engine fire, whatever you guys see. The smartest guys in the cockpit always sit 3 feet back. They can kind of see everything. Anyway, any questions? No questions. Boss man. I like when they call me boss man. No, I don't actually. All right, so that's the takeoff brief. That's done. And beacon we'll get when we start engines. And only thing we haven't done, we haven't gotten clearance. So I'm not sure that went through on the other dealie. So I'm going to go ahead and file here too, guys. Flight plan. I am going to file here because I'm just not sure it went through. Heavy aircraft, Merritt, Roebuck, Boston, 4 right. That tells them I can transmit and receive. Yeah, it's working. See that text? It's working. Time en route. No, it's 37 minutes. 37 minutes and 0 short flight. Fuel bill is 2 hours. 25,000 is what we're requesting, and file the flight plan. It might have gone through. We did a sim brief when I filed the VATSIM. Remember, it was cycling around and around. I'm not sure, so I'm just going to send it like that. So it's information November. Maybe we should go to the box. We'll do this in a minute. I'll get clearance through ground since we don't have clearance delivery. And I'm going to override this checklist, item override. Checklist override, normal checklist is our before taxi checklist. We'll do that in a minute. All right, so I think the box is ready. Pre-flight's complete. Takeoff data is set. Bob's ready. Louie's ready. Frank is ready, although we only have one guy going to Boston. We'll get the clearance in a moment. Let's just come back in here, make sure we still have the current ATIS. Okay, it's information November. All right, so let's get the clearance. We got to go here. We normally go to clearance delivery. We actually get it through CPDLC, but not gonna. And Kenny Ground, American 123 Heavy. We're at gate 14, the American Airlines terminal. Request clearance to Boston information November. Ready to copy the clearance, American 123 Heavy. Okay, American 123 Heavy is cleared to Boston via the JFK-5 Breezy Point climb, Merritt transition, direct to Oscar Romeo W, and then Oscar Romeo W7 into Boston. Climb maintain 5,000. And departure frequency is Unicom and 6617 on the squawk. American 123 Heavy. Okay, Canarsie climb instead of the breezy point, and flight level 210 is our expected altitude. Climbing to 5,000 now. American 123 Heavy. Thanks, sir. Okay, we have November. We'll call you ready for taxi. American 123 Heavy. All right, so ready for taxi. So that means we don't have to call them for pushback. Let me see if I can get this set. 66. 6617. 6617. Okay, so we come in the box. It's a JFK 5 departure. Canarsie climb. Doesn't have that in there, but it's basically a left-hand turn over towards Canarsie. I don't think that's actually the departure. Hate to be a little nudgy here. Let's go, how about the scores? No. So maybe it's 31 left. It's a Canarsie climb. Yeah, we don't have that in here. Do we, guys? JFK. Let's try D's. Nope. Erase. JFK 5. 31 left. Canarsie climb. Let's look at the, I actually know what it is, guys, because I did it for so many years. We haven't done it for a while because we don't do that going to Europe. But let me look at this SID. JFK departure. Breezy point. He said Canarsie climb. Climbing left turn, direct to Canarsie. Turn east of Canarsie. Oh, you can't see that, can you? Let's help you out here. Climb left turn, direct Canarsie VOR. Make turn east of Canarsie 039, then via the Canarsie 176. Cross 2D at or above 2,500. Okay, so we don't have any way of putting that in the box, so I'm going to just do it. Let me do this. Legs. Here's Canarsie. And then I'll just do the CRI 176 at 15. And then Merritt, Norwich. Merritt, I'm going to leave that blank, by the way. ORW. Norwich. And then I'm going to come back in here and do the Norwich 7. Norwich 7. Canarsie climb, Merritt, Norwich. That is Canarsie. That's Calverton right there. So let's just go from here. ILS 4 right. Then come back in. Now we can do everything back over again. Route. JFK Canarsie. That's the 176 off Canarsie. And then it's going to be radar vectors Merritt, Norwich. And then the Norwich 7 on in for Merritt, Norwich. Norwich 7. I'm going to have to do this, guys. Hold on a second. See that? Let me take a look at the arrival, guys. So that's Norwich and Providence, right? So sometimes, obviously I would call them back and say we don't have that in our database, but we're going to play some fun games here. Way I would set that up would be I go to air flights here, and look for the Norwich 7 for the star, Norwich 7. This is fun stuff. I'm so weird. I like this stuff actually. So let's see. Merit Norwich. Norwich quit out province. OUTT. OUTT. OUTTT. So Norwich, OUTT, Providence. Okay. Let's see if that's got, let's see how it looks now. Legs. Canarsie 176 radar vectors. Then it's going to be direct Merit, Norwich, and then the arrivals in there. Let's make sure that's correct. You've got Merrick, Norwich, out, Providence, Cran, which is in there. Cran on the when you're landing on the 4s should be at 270 and 11, and that's where it lands. So 270 and 11. So let's put that in. Cran at 270 and 1000. And it looks like they want us to go at 21, guys. Woo! Okay, he wants me to call ready for taxi. I'm going to push. All right, so route again. Got the Canarsie climb, direct Canarsie. Got a couple of crossings, no problem. You're way above them. Out the 176, we'll be on Unicom. We'll go direct Merritt, direct Norwich, then the Norwich arrival, which is that's it right there. Vectors for Napo, and there we go. All right, so for taxi checklist, we're just going to basically push back here on our own. I think that's good. All right, let's go. And Unicom will be on ground. Let's go down here and do that. 121.9 is we're going to use them, but it's going to be Unicom on departure. And we'll keep an eye out for New York Center, but they'll call us if they need us, or Boston Center. 21.9, push back. We normally push back with the ramp here, and this information November. All right, so let's get the before starting engine checklist. We did all that, and we go. This is my flow. I turn on the hydraulic pumps and fuel pumps. This is before pushback, rather. Fuel pumps, a beacon, and this guy checks the doors. Up, and so we come back in here. Menu, FS actions, doors. Close all. And also, menu. Okay, I'm just checking everything, guys. I just want to make sure everything is gone down there. Chalks are removed. All right, back to doors. Arm all. They're armed. Let's take a look outside. All right, looks like we're ready for pushback. All right, let's come back inside. All right, they're armed. Pushback. Push is going to be, let me see. So, guys, let's take a look at the taxiway. I'm going to get rid of these guys so we can hear each other talk, all right? Let me go back to here and talk about the taxi out because I never did cover that. Flights, JFK. Hope you're finding this helpful. JFK. We are going out to 31 left. We are here at gate 14. We're going to push back and 31 left. Normally they have us go left on, we're going to go out November Charlie. It'll be left on Bravo. Usually hold short of kilo. So we're going to go out November Charlie. So that's nose to the right, right? Nose to the right. I just know that because I fly out of here a lot. All right, so self-drive, we're going to go standard turn, nose to the right, select the tug. You got to get the tug in here before you can go 90 degrees. And we'll go 90, and we'll go start. It's, all right, here comes the pushback. All right, and somewhere in here, he clears us to start. And it's a 300. It's got GE engines, which are one at a time. So I say clear to start the left engine. That's it. And we come in here. We usually display the engine page, engine 2. I'm going to let the FO do the start, monitor it. Remember, when that red tick goes away, it's fully started. All right, so we can watch the pushback outside. Pretty good graphics. Looks like it started. Clear on the left. Got 2. It's just rolling back a little bit to 4 and 6. We set the brakes for him. Starting the second engine. And that guy is disconnecting. And for the takeoff, I'm going to be on the takeoff page. This guy's going to be on the leg page. Engines are starting. 2, 4. See, it's in the 4s. This is usually somewhere around 670 or 69. And the oil gulped. And the big thing here, of course, we want the oil pressure to be up. Yeah, I take off early. I'm doing the 2-day London on flight 142 tomorrow. It's a great flight. It's only a 2-man crew. It gets a little long. 2, 4, 6 looks good. We don't. It's temperatures above 10. It's a nice day. It's 82 degrees out there actually. We can kill the APU, and I would ask the guy to do flaps 5. And at that point, we'll go outside. I will check. Usually the FO checks the ailerons. 6 seconds stop to stop. Free, unrestricted. They check the elevators, and the captain checks the rudders. And that's the flight controls. I did hear the parking brakes kick off. Let's put those back on, right? All right, and let's go to the checklist, please. All right, anti-ice is not required. Recall. That's important to do that. Recall, make sure that there's nothing you don't want here. Brake set, sometimes you'll see something there that you forgot. So it's a good check. So even in the sim here, I'd highly recommend doing it. Recall, flight controls are free and clear. Ground equipment is clear. And what we do here is we flash them with the taxi light when they show us the pin and salute us. But okay. I'm going to taxi up to the whole. I better call the ground taxi back here. And we're going out. Which way? November Charlie. November Charlie. And flaps are even set to 5. Who's better than us, right? That's after takeoff check. All right, I do believe we're ready to go, baby. Let me just call them. Let's make sure we're on the freak. 21. Oh, look at that. Remember, I toggled them down. Here we go. Oh, Oscar. All right, I gotta go get Oscar, guys, before I call him. All right, well, he said Oscar, but right now we have November. Let's try him out. Kenny Ground, American 123 Heavy off gate 14, coming out of November Charlie with information November. Okay, we'll get Oscar and request taxi for American 123 Heavy. Left on Bravo, Juliet, Zulu, cross runway 4 left on Juliet for American 123 Heavy. Okay, guys, here we go. Parking brakes are off. Clear left and clear right. Left on Bravo, Juliet, clear to cross. That's Alpha. Here's Bravo. Clear to cross. And so we're going to go all the way around to Juliet. And we're clear to cross 4 left to Juliet. All the way to the end on 31 left. Kind of cool taxi view, huh? Yeah. All right, so our takeoff, before takeoff checklist, takeoff data and bugs. The FO is going to check weights, winds, and temperatures. Did the weights run an assumed temperature, which is 3,000 above our plan? As long as we're above 3,000 above our plan, the weights check. If we're more than 3, we got to get new numbers. Weights, winds. We have a headwind. If we have a tailwind, it's about 3,000 pounds according to takeoff performance system per knot of tailwind. You take that off the runway limited. Obviously here we've got all sorts of room to play with. We're so light. Weights, winds, and temperature. Let's go over here, guys. All right, weights, winds, and temperatures check. So our assumed temperature is like 36. So as long as we're below 36, we're at 28. We're below our assumed temperature. There's this guy ahead of us. Hopefully he goes left. That's that Saudi Air aircraft. That's one small airplane for Saudi Air. That's going to be a long flight to Riyadh. And that bad boy, like 8 hops, I think. Looks like he's struggling a little bit up here. Don't we all, right? All right, so normally we'd have to stop short at Kilo up here, but we're cleared to cross on Juliet, which is right here. We're cleared to cross 4 left, Juliet, all the way out to the end. Okay, so takeoff data is checked. Flaps, calls for 5, set at 5, checked. Stabilizer trim, set 6.0. And those are the before takeoff checklists except for MCP. All right, so for MCP, 156, 314. We got LNAV, VNAV doing the Canarsie climb going to 5,000. 3,000 min sector, A10 engine out. I got 6617. Kind of dark here, guys. Kind of dark because it's only 2 o'clock here. Going slowly, guys, because there's quite a bit of traffic up here. Looks a little confusing up here, doesn't it? Delta's cutting in front of Saudi Air. I don't know if they landed on 31 left and cleared right there at Kilo. Nice, Delta. And that is their terminal right there. So nice short taxi for Delta. Well played. Well played. You already cleared. Yeah, so we've already been cleared to cross 4 left at Juliet. Flying out of Kennedy my whole career, normally we hold short of Kilo and they don't let us cross from that far out, but he did clear us to cross 4 left at Juliet. So if you remember the 106 that Delta had to abort for, they were supposed to go right on Kilo, cross 31 left, and they did just what we're doing. They went straight ahead on Juliet and cross. Taxiing a little slowly, I know, guys. It's because this guy's up here. All right, so MCP and radios are checked, and that's all we do here. I always like to go over engine out procedures. I said, all right, Bob, if we do lose an engine, we'll clean up at 810. Then we'll follow the engine out procedure, which pops up automatically in the box. We'll execute it. 3000 is a Goodman sector. We'll clean up in VNAV. And we don't have to dump. And plenty of runway to come right back in here and land. All right, clear left. Come through here. The other guy clears right, and we are good across. Yeah, we are cleared across. A little uncomfortable for me because they don't usually give you that clearance, but yeah, it's good to be back in it, guys. So I've been flying a lot, and so and I've been trying to get back up to speed on Microsoft Flight Simulator, but I was having a lot of trouble programming my new Boeing yoke and Honeycomb Bravo throttles for Microsoft Flight Simulator, especially for streaming with getting the views right. It's going to take me a while, but I figured I better come back to P3D before I left and put something out. So I just did a simple VATSIM flight from Kennedy to Boston. I thought what would make it unique is if I did it from inception on, where you're doing the VATSPY and the SimBrief downloader, found on a network, vPilot, the weather apps, everything, ActorSky. And I found a couple of airports with controllers. So this ground, they did clearance. They'll do ground, and they'll clear us for takeoff. We'll go to Unicom. We'll look for a New York Center or a Boston Center. I look at Southwest here. You know what's realistic about that? He's taxiing at the speed of heat. That's too funny. That's what Southwest does. They taxi at like 30 knots. Got a lot of friends flying for him. Yeah, 22.8. Thanks for all your help, American 123 Heavy. All right, Unicom. We'll stop here till Southwest gets going. We'll come inside. Go to Unicom. All right. We'll listen up. Hopefully these guys know to just take off. We shall see, right? Saudi Air is on the runway. I don't think he's moving. There he goes. Long flight to Riyadh and what appears to be an Embraer, maybe a CRJ. Probably 24 stops on that bad boy, huh? All right, Southwest is taking the runway. And yeah, we can come up here and we'll assume we're clear for takeoff. Flight attendants prepare for takeoff, please. Turned all the runway lights on. They're chimed. Wait till Southwest takes off. I don't know where he's going. Hopefully they're not going to Boston. He never called on Unicom. At least I didn't hear them. You know, in Europe, they say after departing Southwest, you're clear for takeoff. You can actually take it at your own peril and roll out. But not in America. We got to hold short. He did not call that he was taking off. We'll try to do better than that. And Kennedy traffic, American 123 heavy taking the runway for 31 left. All right, so we check right, check left. Looks good. Here we go. He's going direct merit. Yeah, he must have loaded up 300,000 pounds on his airplane. I wonder if you can do that. You know, exceed the operating capability of your aircraft in a simulator world. That'd be kind of cool. Guys ever hear about ferrying like 172s from LA to Hawaii or across the North Atlantic? It's freaking crazy. All right, I'll give him a little room, right? Get them out there so we don't smoke on in. Saudi Air is going to Merit. Looks like they might be going left. We'll keep an eye out for them. Hey, let's go fly a little formation flight with them. Bring this up to 50%. And Kennedy traffic, American 123 heavy is taking off, runway 31 left. That's interesting. I just brought my throttles up to match, and they went to idle. Gear up, please. All right, we're in LNAV. Here we go. All right. We need to be watching out for these guys so I don't run over anyone. Let's just go right up to 21. And I'll turn left. All right, flaps 1, please. This. Come back to the box. Legs. Merit. Here. Execute. LNAV. And flaps up. Aft takeoff climb check. Checklist. Checklist. Flaps are coming up. Aft takeoff checklist is complete. How's that? Next is descent check. All right, we're LNAVing it. We're VNAVing it. I think I'm going to go direct to Norwich rather. All right. That's it. LNAV, VNAV. Bring this range out a bunch. Should have traffic displayed, shouldn't I? And I don't see anybody out here. Saudi Air is going to Merit. All right, let's have a little fun. Well, that's not fun. Got 1.5 months to go. Well, I'm going to fly my last trip on August 29th through the 31st. Guess we better go back inside here. And ring the bell. Desterilize them. Turn the lights off. We do it at 18. VATSIM, they tell you to do it at 10. So I try to do what VATSIM wants. It's their operation. All right. Going to Norwich. Let's look up the arrival. And star. Flights. Boston. Now star. Norwich arrival. Pin that one. All right, we are going direct to Norwich. Out. You know what? I better be careful that no one is trying to contact me. Right? Newark, Teterboro, JFK ground. So far, no Boston. Let's go to Boston, VATSPY. Go to VATSPY. Boston's got some activity. Nope. Oh my goodness, did they close up? Yeah, they're up here. They closed up. All right. Well, that's a bummer. Huh. I'll tell you what. Let's do something a little more fun then. Let's come back in here. All right, that's good. Let's go in here and go menu, PMDG, aircraft, failures, active, random. Is there anything random? Miscellaneous. Random. Random. Execute. Let's see what they got. Kind of fun, right? Out of 18 altimeters. Standard. 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 Lights are out. Have takeoff climb check. Have takeoff check is definitely complete. Well, Providence, the bottom is CRAN at 11. So once we get up here, we'll program CRAN at 11. Looks like Boston is shut down. One more look here. And VATSPY, we looked ahead, and Boston was shut down. There's no New York Center, no Boston Center. They would contact us if they wanted us. 20 for 21. We'll let it level off. Waiting for our random failure. And there's 21. Looks like it's got it figured out. Let's come in here. There. Everywhere. Haha! On our way to Boston with a random failure program. I don't think it's going to be anything too exciting. Woohoo! So I retire September 6th, guys. Don't forget to look in the bottom right-hand corner, hit my ugly face, and subscribe if you wouldn't mind. If they go to age 67, the bill's in Congress right now as part of the FAA appropriations bill. If it goes through, I will stay on for 2 more years with an American flying this thing. I fly mostly, exclusively, a 777 on P3D at the moment, because if you haven't flown with me, it's because I was getting messed up flying all the different airplanes. But I do have a lot of videos on my site for the 7.6, a couple of 7.6s, MD-11, 7.3 Airbus, a bunch of things, a P-51 Mustang, and Spitfire, things like that. And then I decided just to concentrate on this big boy on P3D. That's it. Let's go back inside, make sure I don't miss a descent point. Let's come in here. Top of descent is in 50 miles. So let's get the Boston weather. ATIS. Airports. Boston. Taxi. parking gates. We're going to park. We're going to land on 4 right, which, hold on a second. 4 right. We're going to come in and land right here. We're going to clear probably at Romeo. November, hold short. Then it's going to be November. We're going to park right over here in gate 22 with evidently no control. It's kind of a disappointment. Star, we looked at the Norwich arrival. Right. We're going to Norwich. There's no crossing out, nothing. 250 and 11 at Providence. We programmed that. Cran at 270. Landing all runways except for right and left. Okay. Except for right and left. So I'll probably just, no one cares. No one's out here, right? Let's go direct to the marker at 4 right. So why not? ILS 4 right. Since no one cares, it's Gashi. Gashi, then Winnie. Let's go to the box. Direct to Gashi. Let me take a look at that, guys. Gashi, Winnie, Nabo. So let's put in the ILS with a Gashi transition. Let's do that. This one, ILS Boston, ILS 4 right. Let's do Gashi. And then we'll come in here since nobody cares, nobody loves us. Nobody loves us. We'll go there. Go to first page. How does that look? Excellent. We're going to go direct to Gashi. And Gashi's at 6 and 210. So I'm going to come up to the window. I'm going to put in 6. Wow, I don't want to do that. 6 and 210. We're in path, right? We're in path, and we got 6 set. So it should cross Gothi. Start down here at top of descent. Cross Gothi at 210 and 6,000 with our help. There it is. I'm going to go in here and go flaps. We'll go flaps 30. And we'll go brakes 2, 3. We're going to go up to the menu. We're going to do descent check. Recall. Nothing. I don't know where that random failure is. So far, so good. Notes. Nothing. That's for malfunctions. Auto brakes are 3. Landing data. We have plenty. We already talked about that. Approach. So, we still need to get the ATIS for Boston. ATIS. 135.0. $135.0. Hopefully that comes up. Otherwise, we know they're on 4 right. And if we look at our sim brief and go to edit flight, view PDF, should be starting down here momentarily. We can find some weather here. Sigmet, Kennedy. Hate to do it this way, guys, but just in case we don't get anything. I think you can actually put in weather. Someone told me on the message, and it will come up. That didn't work out, did it? So, let me look at here. Still no Boston, no ground, no nothing. I think you can type in Boston weather. I don't know. Oh, Boston. How about Boston weather? Or weather Boston? How about weather K-BOS? Oh, right. There we go. All right, let's come back in here and see how far we are from top of descent. Should be starting down here pretty shortly. Gosh, so we want to start down 73 miles out. There's our RNAV, our approach. Starting to come down. Guys, would you rather do an RNAV approach? That might be more interesting than flying a Cat 3. I mean, ILS, huh? Want to do that? Why not? Let's go departures, arrivals. Since no one cares, right? Gashi transition, legs, Gashi, 6,000. All right, I'm going to turn the lights back on for the descent. A little bit early, but that way we're not busy. Make my PA to the people, tell them we're going to be landing. When do you think we'll be landing? Well, we're going to be landing at 46 in our present time. So we're going to be landing in 15 minutes. And we're coming up out of our transition altitude. 2976 is the altimeter, we think. All right, so that's done. Descent checks good. Boston Airport information echo. 040 at 10. Visibility greater than 20 miles. Sky condition 3,600 scattered. Ceiling 18,000 broken. Temperature 27. Dew point 19. Altimeter 2976. ILS. We're going to go to 4 right. All right? We're going to go to 4 right. And how we doing? So we're right on the path. We are right on the path here. Now we're going to do an RNAV, so we actually have to come in to the box and go to Prague. Page 4, put in 125, and what that does, and I put in our actual RNP. So if you look, we're going to go the ILS, RNAV, GPS, runway 4, and we're going to put in the minimums. This is LPV, we don't fly that. It's a decision altitude of 514. So 514. I'm putting that down here. Yeah, this way we can go through our RNAV procedures, add a little bit of flavor to the VATSIM flight. You know, this actually helps me going back to work, gives me a little review. Why not? All right, so we happy with that? We're in path. Right here, we've got a 125. What that does is it makes this range, no matter where you are, accurate. On this approach, RNAV, if it was less than 0.3, it would say it. Is RNAV, RNP, you'd have to have permission to fly it in the reference pages for your company. We do. We've got a DA set of 514. Missed approach is in the box. We double check that. We're supposed to check Gashi, Winnie, Nabo, so let's do that. Legs. All right, and bring it over a little. All right, so Gashi at 6, Winnie at 4, Nabo at 3, Millet at 1,700, Ursu at 700, and then you got to go the runway. You want to make sure the last point, the glide path, is 3 degrees, 3.08, and that matches what it says on here, 3.08, and you want to make sure that the last point is field elevation, which it is. It's 50 feet above the runway. That looks good. Misapproach in the box, it's waxing the 3, so 3,000 go in the window once we pass the FAF. After landing, taxi. I think we already talked about this, but we'll do it again. We're going to go to this gate right here, gate 22 on the end. So we're going to come down November and Alpha to gate 22. So let's see the runway. We got standard runway assessment because it's over 8,000 and it's dry. We're going to land on 4 right. We're going to clear. We might get off as early as Yankee. Taxi down 3 right. Cut across this. No one's going to be paying attention to us. November Alpha to the ramp. All right. That's it. That's the plan, man. Altimeters are set. 2976. Descent checks complete. Right here we've got auto brakes are 3. And we'll see how we're doing here back in the cockpit. All right, out of 10, it's not slowing. It should be. Let's see if it does it. Let's give it a chance to do right by it. And we got to come up here to the overhead and sterilize and say, flight attendants prepare for landing. Out of 10. Looks like it figured out 10,000. And I'm constantly monitoring path and the vertical path over here. Make sure we're all good. And it's slowing to 250 below 10. The real airplane doesn't cut it that close. It starts slowing a little earlier. At least the bug goes down to 240 or 250 well before 10, like at around 11.5, so you know it's seeing it. This one waits till, makes you wonder. Makes you wonder. All right, one last check of the Boston Tower. No, nothing. Everyone went home. Maybe to catch the Sox game. Have a little supper. A little early for that, huh? And the other thing we want to always check, make sure you don't have any drag where it's saying you need to help it out. Gosh, it's 6. We already checked all those. We're ready to go. Now, if we want to arm the spoilers, we can. Let's pull back my stick. And there it is. Speed brakes are armed. So maybe we won't need them. Now, I'm going to go in the box. Drag required. 39 miles out. The way I'm going to do this is I'm going to actually go below 265, flaps 1. Where did I get below 265? Right here. Below 245, which we are, I can go all the way to flaps 5, and that should be all the drag that it needs to maintain its path. And what it's telling you is if you want to do that speed at 240, you're going to need a little help. So this one actually needs a little more help. I think what I'll do is come up to the window, and I'm going to bring this speed back to 230, just because that's close to the 245. That 245 is a flaps 5 speed. That'll give it some help. A little bit of this, speed brakes extended. That's because we're trying to get down to our path. Cabin is ready. And there it is. It's still in path. Still in path. Coming down nicely. Once it gets there, I'll pop the speed brakes back up, and it should be fine with flaps 5. In the real world, of course, Boston would be calling our airspeeds, but they went home. Speed brakes are armed. The landing check is just full flaps and gear. That's all it is. We're going to go flaps 30 and double check that. 137, so it'll be 142 final approach. It's coming out nicely. Want to take a look outside? Kind of pretty. Got flaps 5, 230 knots. Our limit is 245 at flaps 5. We're on the path, and we're coming down nicely. how many miles out? We're probably about 23 miles out. Let me see. 27 miles out. And we are, let's say we are cleared for the approach. We can set this all the way down. To minimums, which is 520. There we go. And watching this closely. One more check. They have any ground or tower here? Nope. So we're landing. We're on our own, baby. All right, there's Gashi at 6. Yeah, once they clear us for the approach, it's called 2 buttons, 2 windows. That's what you use. 2 buttons are LNAV, VNAV. 2 windows set the minimums, 520, and the speed intervene, roll that back to whatever speed. From here on out, we control our own airspeed. We are in control. There's Gashi at 210. Keep the heading bug slewed around. Turning on final. Yeah, kind of fun. This stuff is fun. How far out are we anyway? Let's see. We're 20 miles out at 210 knots, so we're in a good energy position. I plan on being at 180, like 8 miles out, 165 miles out. Flying a final approach for 142. That's plus 5, right? All right, let's go back in here. Wonder if there's anything to look at outside. Not really. My old stomping grounds down there somewhere. I grew up in Cumberland, Rhode Island, which is probably going to be coming up under, probably just flying over it right now. Yeah, it's probably out there somewhere. And so we're looking here for is path, no deviation, no request for drag. Put data on here. You can get I selected data on the window, and you can get all the whatever speeds you need, any approaches, any altitudes that we're planning on. And I'll plan on being at Milt at 180. No, at Milt. I always tell the other guy where I'm going to be configured, just so they feel comfortable. All right, Milt, let's just bring it back a little bit. What did I promise you? 180 at Milt, right? And we should be able to go to flaps 15. What? We can go, and what's our speed for flaps 20? Flaps 20 is 221, so we can go all the way to flaps 20. And we're coming out of 3, I'll get gear down. And flaps 20. Runway is in sight out there. Way out here. You see it? Nice, huh? All right, go flaps 25. And I think we can come back up here. And there's Milt at 180. Don't want to get too slow. The real Boston would be upset. But I want to get down below 180 so that I can get flaps 30. All right, flaps 30. And there's flaps 30. Now inside of Milt, as long as we're 300 feet below the missed approach altitude, we can set missed approach altitude, which is going to be 3,000. But we got to be inside the FAF, at least 300 feet below missed approach altitude. So when Milt turns from white to magenta to white, cool, huh? I love that stuff. Magenta to white. Let's go back up here. There it is. It's white. And there we go. Missed approach altitude is set, and you're clear to land. If you take a look at the checklist, landing checklist is complete. Clear to land. Remember, left-hand turnoff. Boston is still off the air. Oh, we're in the weather. How's that? If we have to go around, it's TOGA, flaps 20. Going around, TOGA, flaps 20, positive gear up, missed approach with it. All right? 1,000 feet. Some sort of a fog out here, huh? Wasn't expecting that. There's a runway. Runway in sight. All right, at minimums. Coming up on minimums. Autopilot's off. Oh, I just TOGA'd. Yeah, guys, I hit TOGA by accident. That's all right. Coming in. Red over white. It's all right. So what I did is turn the auto throttles off. Yeah, that little screw, you gotta on the VATSI, a little low. There is no glide slope. Yeah, that was funky. All right. Reverse. Getting on the brakes. Coming out of reverse. Got cleared across. Flaps up after landing. Yeah, so there's a little button there. If you click on it with the right, we're cleared across all the way to the gate. It's autopilot off. I clicked on the left and I hit TOGA, so I had to disarm the auto throttle switches and take it over visually. Was it unstable? Nah. Another bad move. I've done it before. Doesn't happen in the airplane because, you know, TOGA switches are nowhere near the auto throttle disconnect switches. All right, we would hold short of the runway, and they say clear to taxi to the gate. Gate 22. Flaps up after landing. Always exciting. And we're cleared across. And American 123 is crossing runway 4 left at Boston traffic. And we'll take Alpha to the ramp, which is the inboard. Always exciting. Yeah, I've done it before where I left click instead of right click. I have learned to turn the auto throttles off. That works. All right, let's see where we are in the airfield. We're going here, so we're going to look for Alpha 2. Alpha 2. It's Charlie. All right, gears up. I mean, gears up. Spoilers are down. Flaps are up. Yeah. And we are cleared into Alpha 2. Gate 22. And here, yeah, the boy. Turn the taxi lights off so we don't blind this guy. Let's go to the overhead. Start the APU. It's Bob's job, but Bob doesn't do anything. Well, that was exciting. Doing the RNAV in, came in, hit the weather kind of down close to minimums, which we didn't have the weather, so wasn't really expecting that. The weather was inaccurate, but I do have on the active weather, so it's gate 28. That always makes it interesting. So Boston's got rain and yucky yuck. All right. Brakes are parked. All right. And the brakes aren't parked. Brakes are parked. Seatbelt sign is off. APU is running. You can chop the engines, please, and shut down checklist. In my flow, up here I turn off the emergency lights. I turn off the hydraulic pumps, right to left. That. Fuel pumps and beacon, and I call for shutdown checklist. My guy Bob gets the, which he doesn't do. See, these switches are off because that's how when I messed up and hit the TOGA instead of the autopilot off. I almost had to go around. We were briefing the go around because we were getting down close to minimums, so it was going to be going around, you know, TOGA, flaps 20, positive brake gear, submit exposure. Then I would have come back in and done a Cat 3 approach, ILS. But we got in, and we were visual down below 7 when I tried to turn the autopilot off at around 500 feet and hit TOGA. Turned off, I controlled the throttles manually, and then I turned off the auto throttles and landed. All right, so not exactly how I did, but it's always exciting. Parking brakes, we're going to leave that set. And normal checklist. Have to take off, and we got to do secure checklist. Normal, descent, and secure is overhead. We turn off the Adaroo. Come back down. Let's have some fun here. See if we can get some action going outside, guys. FS actions, ground operations, ground power, chalks are in, ground power request. I wonder if FSX is working. GSX, oh yeah. I reloaded that just before I came to you guys.
This parking is too small for your aircraft.
Yeah, your face is too small. All right, so additional services. So not going to do this. I want to see if I can get the jet bridge working here.
This parking is too small for your
Request
aircraft.
deboarding.
Requested.
Usually
This
it
parking
does.
is too small for your aircraft.
Oh, upgrade jetways. Here we go. And I got to go to doors, FS actions. Disconnected, waiting for open forward cargo. I'm just having fun. Um, that's all I'm doing. Forward cargo, disarm all. Stop blowing these slides, right? Disarm all. And then here, open, not sure which door they're going to. Let's see. Oh, they got some stairs coming up. No jet bridge. Let me see if I can get the jet bridge going here.
This parking is too small for your aircraft.
Waiting for other services. I wonder. So, you go in here. Waiting for action. Open aft cargo, forward cargo, open L2. All right, aft cargo, forward cargo, L2. I got to practice this stuff, guys. Sorry. Left open L2.
Passengers
Aft
departing
cargo.
starting.
Yeah, there we go. Aft cargo. Forward cargo, aft cargo. Get the bulk open too. You hear the passengers? I think that's kind of cool. All right, and never did. You know, I had requested a malfunction, never did get one. What else can we bring out here? Yeah, let's get refill the hydraulics. Let's refill the oxygen, the oil, APU, all this stuff. Cool brakes, replace brakes. Put new tires on it. Fill it up. Check the oil. Let's do everything. Ground operations, menu, FS actions, service vehicles. Maintenance. Yeah, let's get them out here. Lab. Let's do the lab. Get some water, a little fuel. Aft galley. Yeah, let's get all those. Forward galley. Let's get the works. You know, we paid for it, right? Forward cargo. Request. 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 Don't need any stairs. We are so powerful. We're so powerful. Look at this. Now I wonder if the jet bridge will work. They deployed I guess they deployed the passengers out the rear end.
This parking is too small for your aircraft.
Yeah, I don't know. All right. So anyway, guys, enough of that nonsense. There we go. JFK to Boston, VATSIM flight, soup to nuts, replete with all the little sim errors. Look at that PMDG just landed, came in there. This guy's bouncing on in. Got all sorts of action going on. Anyway, that's it for today. I'm going to London tomorrow. Don't forget to hit this little face down here and subscribe if you wouldn't mind. I'll leave a link to our Discord too. It's starting to grow on the Discord side, and got a nice community going on, guys. And if you wouldn't mind joining us, that'd be great. Anyway, till next time, appreciate you guys. Thanks for all your help. Father Time is out.